State Representative Sue Helm, the 104th Legislative District, and we're here at beautiful Fort Hunter, and we're stocking muskie, and I'm here with Tim Schaefer, the Executive Director of the Fish and Boat Commission. So we're going to ask Tim a lot about what the Fish and Boat Commission does and about trout stocking. So first of all, tell me about what the Commission does and what your job is.
Sure, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, our mission is to protect, conserve, and enhance aquatic resources and provide fishing and boating opportunities. And that's what we're doing here today, is providing more fishing opportunities for folks in the Susquehanna River.
You know, I'm just going to ask you first of all, if somebody wants to get a fishing license, where do they get it?
Sure, make it real easy. There's about 900 issuing agents across the state. Go into local department stores or outdoor shops to get your license in person. You can also go online. Our website, fishandboat.com, is a great place to get started. We also have a mobile app. It's Fish Boat PA, spelled just like it sounds. Go on there and it can get you started with getting your license.
I don't know if you want to talk about cost, but how old does somebody have to be when they first have to pay for a license?
Sure, you need to be 16 years old to get a license, and you can buy just a regular license. You can buy multi-year licenses. I have a 5-year fishing license where you can get it and then it's good for 5 years, and you have it whenever you want to go fishing. And
today we're doing the stocking of the muskie. But they're not really that big, but how long till somebody really should catch one of these? We hope they don't catch it when they're this tiny.
Right, so what we do is we're stocking purebred muskies today, and in the last few years we started stocking fewer but larger muskies. So the fish we're putting in today are 12 to 14 inches long. The reason we do that, the biologists, the fisheries experts that work for us have identified that if we stock fish that are larger, they'll have a much likelier chance of survival. So the fish that are out here this year, in a few years they'll grow up to adult size, adult catchable size. Muskie needs to be 40 inches to keep, but there are fish out there that are 50 inches and larger that are real trophies for the anglers.
Now I know there's a hunting season, but is there a fishing season, or can they fish anytime they want?
Yeah, so we do. We have fishing seasons throughout Pennsylvania. I mean, one of the things you hear about a lot is our trout season. People hear about that all the time. You know, just upstream from here we have Clark's Creek and the volunteers that run the cooperative nursery there. You know, that'll get started at the end of March, beginning of April. Coming into the summer here, we had bass season start a couple weeks ago. And then you have muskies, you have walleye, depending on where you are. You've got seasons that stretch throughout the year and give people really a year-round opportunity to fish in Pennsylvania.
And I know that's all on your website if somebody wants to look at that and everything.
Absolutely.
Do we have a count about how many people get fishing licenses every year?
Sure, we have about 1 million people that consider themselves anglers or fishermen in Pennsylvania. Sell about 850,000 licenses. Again, we have people that consider themselves anglers but don't necessarily have a license because, again, up to 16 you don't need to buy a license if you're below 16. Then we also have our senior lifetime license holders that once they get to be 65, they don't need to buy a license anymore. But we say we have about 1 million anglers in Pennsylvania.
Well, we know people enjoy fishing. Is there any, when they catch one of these fish, I know we said that they're small and they'll grow, but what size of a muskie has to be thrown back in?
Sure, anything under 40 inches.
Oh, okay, you said they have to get a 40 inch. That's pretty big.
It is pretty big, and that's what makes it so fun. I mean, it really is a fish of a lifetime for a lot of people. I mentioned that we're stocking about 2,400 here today. We stocked 2,400 downstream at City Island yesterday. So there'll be nearly 5,000 of the fish that we're putting in here over the course of 2 days. We stock about 27,000 muskies statewide every year. Next year we anticipate stocking about 35,000 statewide. So we perfect our program every year. Our fisheries biologists, like I said, use the best available science to them to raise fish that have the best chance of surviving for the anglers.
Well, I know you said over 1 million people get a fishing license, and I think the Fish and Boat Commission, you support yourself with those fees. Can you talk about that? Because then people don't have to worry that their tax money's going into it. The actual license supports it.
That's a great question. So it's called the North American Model of Fish and Wildlife Conservation, which it's a user pays, user benefits model. So none of that truck right there, the gas that's powering that truck, the fish that we're putting in, no general fund tax dollars have gone into that. We're funded primarily by fishing licenses and boat registrations, and then there's federal excise taxes built into the cost of the equipment itself. That pays for what we do. Again, so there's no general fund tax dollars that go in to support the Fish and Boat Commission's operations.
And tell me about, I think you also have a program for school kids, like you take some little fish into schools?
You're probably thinking of Trout in the Classroom, which has become a really popular program. I think we're at about 40% of the school districts statewide now. What we do is we provide trout to the schools. We provide eggs, and then they raise them up as part of their science curriculum in the year, and then release them in the spring. And it gives them a great example and great understanding of what it takes for a fish to get up to adult size and how important cold water conservation is.
Like, I think that's a great program. Anything to educate the children and have them become fishermen when they get older.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. We appreciate everything you do for Pennsylvania.
Happy to be here. Thanks.
Oh, look at them. I'm here with DJ Becky of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, and we're stocking muskie today, and you drove this truck here, and that means you must have picked up the fish somewhere.
Yep, so we picked up the fish from Linesville State Fish Hatchery. It's up in the northwestern corner of Pennsylvania. The guys up in Linesville did an excellent job. The fish are actually very long and fat, and averaging about 14 inches long. So what we did today was I met them up in State College, and we switched trucks, and I drove them back here.
And tell me, how many did you say, all statewide?
Statewide, there's 30,000 fish being stocked, muskies.
And there's 2,400 here today.
2,400 here today for Fort Hunter and the Susquehanna, yep.
And obviously you advertise that you're doing this so that the fishermen can come. Is that how they're going to know how do they know that the muskie are in the Susquehanna River now?
Well, we do advertise our stockings, and the local muskie clubs, which we have a member here today, is helping us stock some fish. So that gets the word out.
And I know, like, you have to be concerned about the fish that you don't stress them. So tell me about that. Like, why does a fish get stressed, and how do you prevent them from?
Fish can be stressed from many different factors, mainly oxygen, water temperature, pH, that sort of thing. Our trucks are all equipped with our life-sustaining systems. We have a spinner in there that keeps the water rotating. We also have pure oxygen that's being pumped in. So they're all very carefully maintained and taken care of, so we make sure we get the fish here alive and healthy.
Now, what do you do like on a normal day? This is, I guess, a great day when you can go out in this beautiful area. I mean, you can't beat this day here at Fort Hunter. Like, what's your normal job on a daily basis?
My normal job, I work at the Huntsdale State Fish Hatcheries in Carlisle, and we primarily take care of trout. We also have some channel cats, and we had lake trout earlier this year. Day to day, we feed the fish, clean up after them. We do a lot of weighing the fish, sampling. We want to make sure we're giving them the right kind of feed and the right amount of feed. So we hit that point in March when we're ready to stock trout.
And I've been told this fish is like a pretty special fish, like it's very hard to catch.
Yep.
I was told like 10,000 casts.
1 in 10,000 casts.
And how many people catch these? I mean, do they have that patience to keep throwing that line in?
Absolutely. Muskie fishermen have a cult following for these fish. They're very strong-willed anglers. They really are. They're after this fish a couple times a week. They got all kinds of big lures, and they spend a lot of money on muskie fishing. And so we're trying to do the best we can with what we're doing here, stocking muskies.
You know, I haven't fished a lot in my life, but I have gone out, and then I love to catch the fish, be out somewhere you can build a bonfire, just a little fire, and cook the fish right there and eat it. There's nothing better than a loaf of bread, a bottle of wine, and a fresh fish.
Yep.
So, you know, I just want everybody to get excited about this and get that license and come out here on the Susquehanna River and fish for a muskie. But we have to be 40 inches, you said, right?
Yep.
That's big. So that's a trophy, right? When
yes,
you get
ma'am. That's definitely a trophy. They'll be there in a couple years. They'll be ready to go. They're thriving well in the Susquehanna, and our survival rate should be much better. That we're putting in bigger fish. We're doing this program every other year now, so we hold them for an extra feeding season, so they get twice as large as what we used to do. So now they're doing a lot better.
Well, DJ, thank you for doing what you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.